It might look like an E46 M3 is now an affordable dream car. I bought one from Bring a Trailer and immediately had to have the subframe repaired, and then it started leaking oil. Here's what that car actually cost me in 1 year of ownership. I want to address what I think is the myth or maybe misconception that an E46 is now attainable because of the price. And while we all know this, the price that you pay for an E46 M3 might be the least expensive part of owning that car. If you have $25,000 in your bank account burning a hole in your pocket, you might think, I could buy an E46 M3, which is way better than $25,000. They exist around 20 to 35, I think is fair. And there's gonna be plenty of YouTube comments or videos that say, shut up and just buy an E46 M3. I think all YouTubers that do review M3s or at least talk about them, they're obviously popular subjects, they end up saying the E46 is their favorite one. And I do think what you get for the purchase price is very reasonable. 333 horsepower, inline six, naturally aspirated, 8,000 RPM red line, manual. It's a beautiful car. But like so many things, it's what comes after the purchase that can get you. And it's not just that the M3 tax is real. It's the shops that work on BMWs are expensive. The BMW M3 parts are expensive. And honestly, it's just a bit harder to do the work at home. I bought a 2002 BMW M3 in carbon black metallic off Bring a Trailer. There's a whole video on that Bring a Trailer purchase if you want to watch it. It had roughly 45,000 miles. Great example. It was manual, not SMG. The car came from New York or New Jersey. I can't remember the specifics now, which can throw up red flags for some. Honestly, I think after Florida, New York, and New Jersey, sketchy places to buy cars. I say that there's lovely people in all these states, there's wonderful cars in all these states, but when you get a weird one, oftentimes it comes out of Florida, New York, or New Jersey. Maybe it's just a function of numbers. There's a lot of people there. I paid, let's call it $28,500 to buy the car. Then I paid Bring a Trailer $1,413. Then I paid Bring a Trailer an OPIT transit fee of $1,716, I think it was. So now we're at $31,764. That's to get the $28,000 car. Most of those are specific to Bring a Trailer, so we shouldn't consider them. Let's talk about what's specific to the E46 M3. The big one, subframe repair. It won't happen to you, right? I would say this is the most feared of all the big three. Subframe failure, Vanos issues, and rod bearing issues. I think they're all probably $3,000 jobs. Feel free to correct me, but either way, they're all bad. There are no signs immediately. And if you can get a PPI, please do. Pre-purchase inspection. I brought it Bring a Trailer, can't get a PPI. And then against all better judgment, I asked a lovely shop here called Beamer House in Colorado to do an in-depth, just kind of once over of the car and see what was wrong, focusing on those three. They were able to show me the crack. Not a good start. I think after this, and we'll get into the cost of it, it didn't feel like it was done. And the car could still have a Vanos issue or a rod bearing issue. So it didn't feel carefree. Like if you buy a car and you know it's got this one issue and you address it, you kind of feel like you can move on, but I still felt like there was something looming overhead. New trailing arm bushings, that was $700. I don't even remember the exact reason, but we had to replace the diff cover. I feel like as I'm remembering this, they wouldn't take advantage of me, right? That was $437. New belts, $300. Subframe reinforcement, taking everything apart, putting everything back, all totaled up to $4,938. This is like month one. Now we're 5 months in and I've driven the car maybe another 20 times because it's winter. And I move it and it's leaking oil. Well, I gotta put more oil in it, $135 for an oil change. And then $1,537 for Vanos seals and some other stuff. So now I'm 6 months into ownership and I've spent $7,000 on what effectively feels like maintenance on a $28,000 car that I bought for $31,000 and change. More kids are coming into my life, bless their hearts, and I'm looking at sitting here in the garage every day, and it just feels sometimes like a cloud over the head. And this isn't unique to the E46 M3. I think the problem is that while it's not the E46 M3's fault, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with this car. It's not unique to a couple. And so you sometimes feel like you're chasing down issues. And it's famous for oil leaks. And nothing feels good about leaving a car in your garage as it drips oil. You feel like you're doing a disservice to the car, or at least I do. I wanted to get this car perfect too, so I spent all this money to get it done right. but it sours the experience when you start with a car that needs a ton of work. So what was my experience with the E46 M3? Outside of that stuff, it was lovely. People keep buying them. And I mean, at some level you should. It was fun to drive, it was quick. We actually had a Tesla Model 3 at the same time. People call them M3 if you're in the Tesla world, I think. It's not an M3. And so I needed at that time a high revving manual. And the M3 is so small compared to modern day cars. It was beautiful to look at. It's just awesome. Every time I walked away from it, I was super happy with it. It had the competition wheels. It was perfect. The steering was great. Driving at the limit was lovely. Well, not at the limit, but the limit of public roads. The smell of old crayons inside, I don't know why, but if you are into old BMWs, you know they smell like old crayons. And I feel like I have Stockholm syndrome or something, because as I'm talking about this right now, I'm picturing it back in my garage and I kind of want it. But I think what I really want is I want to look at one right now. I don't want to own one right now. But I love the idea of the car. It's a great car. Maybe the answer is the other car the internet says, which is a Mazda Miata. So was it worth it? I think it was worth it because if I didn't own it, I'd still be shopping them. I had to know. That was the car that when I was in high school, I guess, yeah, right around high school, that was the hero car. That was the car that if someone's dad drove up in, man, do I want to drive that thing. Now, I like stuff that I can work on. I like stuff that I can fix in the garage. I like stuff I can fit my kids in. I don't really want anything precious. And if you have to be too careful with things, I think it hurts your relationship with them sometimes. I mean, it's definitely gonna be different when I go shop a 911, and I will have to eventually buy one. Only time will tell if that's also a huge mistake. So who should actually buy an E46 M3? If you can budget $3,000 to $5,000 a year maintenance on top of insurance and everything else, it's a great car. If you can do the work yourself, it's a lovely car. You could definitely get one that is problem-free. They exist. Probably don't buy one from Florida. Or if you just won the lottery and you don't care about anything I just said, definitely buy one. It's a sweet car. Skip it if your budget is tight or you think it's gonna be an investment at any level. You buy a $28,000 car, maybe I got a good deal. Again, 45,000 miles. You could argue that's a $30-some thousand car, but it was $30-some thousand to get it to me. I also paid taxes, and then I paid $7,000. And so when you add that all up, it was a $40,000 car. Did I sell it for $40,000? I did not. And I don't even want to look it up to see what I sold it for to understand what it cost me to own for a year. If you want to buy a car that's not precious, set it and forget it and leave it. This is not the car either. If you think it's a good deal because the forums told you it's a good idea, or YouTube told you it's a good idea, not a good idea. Know what you're getting into, appreciate it for what it is and what it isn't. Know that it could possibly cost you a lot of money, but when it's running, it's lovely. If you did better than me, I'm not angry, I'm jealous. But my experience is not unique to me. I think it's fair to assume this could be you. I've owned too many cars, so if you want to know the experience of owning other ones, I'm happy to share. Over and out. Thanks for listening. Tune in if you want to hear more. See you guys. Bye. Crazy story about the guy who actually bought it from me. Lovely guy. He's in Colorado. When he bought it, he owned it for a period of time. He had it in the shop. Shouldn't surprise anybody. And his house caught on fire. Terrible story. I think he had young kids. Everyone was okay, but he lost everything. It was like the only thing left. It made me think that these cars are kind of like cockroaches.